So I encourage everyone to buy a poinsettia or 2 or 3 or 10 from your local garden center because, for one, they are kept in the right conditions and taken care of. They are not a widget that you see at your local club store, you see at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, where they're just kind of on a cart. You know, what was I? Well, Aaron, were you with me when we went to one of our growers in June and they were just sticking the poinsettias? Yeah. Poinsettias start in June. They start in June. And Julio, I know you've seen it, where it's not like 2 weeks and here they are. You know, it takes almost 6 months for this plant to grow, and it needs certain conditions. Again, it's not something, let's just say a little bit of respect. A little bit of respect. And why you don't buy it necessarily at your box store is just simply because it is not taken care of. And what is the most important thing? I'm going to go out of order.
I was just in Lowe's the other day.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked in the doors,
right,
the poinsettias are right there. You know,
cold
air.
Yeah.
At cold air.
And that's exactly what I'm going to poinsettias. The worst thing for poinsettias are drafts.
Yeah.
They don't want a hot draft. They don't want a cold, especially a cold draft. So don't put them near your door. Don't put them near your heat vent. You want to keep them away in the house so that they're away from drafts. That's first rule. Light. How much light do I give my poinsettia? Enough light so you can comfortably read a newspaper. For those millennials out there, a newspaper is black and white and red all over.
Got ink.
It's something that they don't need a tremendous amount of light. So because what did we say in the beginning of the show, right? Poinsettias flowers are in the center of the plant. The color on a poinsettia actually bracts modified leaves. So they'll hold that color even if you put it in where there's not quite the right amount of light that they're getting. So, again, medium light. Now, they will last a tremendous amount of time. But you've got to make sure that you keep them evenly moist but not wet, and certainly avoid letting them go dry. In the environment that we have in winter, that we have had where we've had some poinsettias where they got these funny white round patches on their bracts or on their flowers, and that is from the lack of humidity in the environment, and that you want to make sure that you keep them moist. Don't let them dry out first and then water them. Try to just keep them evenly moist. If you have a saucer on them, try to avoid having water stay in the saucer, because you don't want to overwater them either. So moist but not wet. Now, the center of the flower will eventually drop all out, and we're talking about the actual real flower where the pollen is, the yellow flower in the center. But the bracts will hold their color for months. So as long as you keep it, you just take care of it as a house plant, and it'll keep on going. Now, believe it or not, I think we talked about this, Aaron. We talked about this last week, about photoperiodic, where they need to have exactly to be called into their leaves to the bracts to color up. They need exactly 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness. And I told the story where we had one grower where the town came and said, we're going to put street lights in. And they put the street lights in and completely threw off their crop. And they had no flowers on their poinsettias, or they came too early. And it's because of the light, the street lights. They have to be shaded. If you have artificial light, they have to be shaded. Now, at 12 hours light, 12 hours darkness, and that's what calls them into bloom. They naturally will bloom later. So if you think about the way that works is like the 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness, you just go ahead and look at a sun calendar, and you can find that, and that's when they will naturally come into bloom. So it's not really Christmas but they're controlled and manipulated to bloom at Christmas.
You know how I got mine? I controlled mine.
Put it in the closet.
I put it in the closet and used a grow light. That's exactly what I did. And it came back like crazy this year, the one that I planted in February.
Is it flowering now?
It's red.
Awesome.
It's red.
Wow.
You should have brought it in.
I just
we
pulled it out of the closet.
In.
Yeah, I pulled it out of the closet yesterday.
Is this that same plant?
The same one.
Same one? Wow.
Same one.
Now you have to tell the story about.
So, ladies and gentlemen, most of you have heard the story before. I went outside at the end of February. I think it was like February 27th or something like that, and it was 71 degrees.
He did not talk to us about this.
And I'm thinking because we were projected to get a nice stretch of warm weather, that the cold weather had been gone, that we were going to go into spring, everything was going to start flowering early, and to my surprise, I was completely wrong.
This is two years ago, right?
Yeah. And I think maybe about a day later, temperature dropped down to like 29 degrees, and my poinsettia, it didn't do well. So pulled it out of the ground, lost all its leaves. I was lucky that it didn't die. And we nursed it back up over 2 years now, and it's almost as big as this poinsettia you see right here sitting in front of Len.
So if you see, and again, you did it.
Yeah,
you did it.
I
Did
put
your
it in
kids
the grow
know
light.
what's going on, or did you just do it by yourself?
I did it by myself. My daughter kind of knew when she opened up the
closet found a poinsettia
and a light. And she's like, "Daddy, what are you doing in here?" But yeah, only person that really knew was my daughter. But yeah, I've been nursing it, man, and it's looking
awesome.
good. Hit it with a little Jack's, and it came back great.
Yeah, that's Jack's Classic Fertilizer.
Absolutely.
Julio, you told me your mom used to plant them outside during the summertime and just let them go.
You let them go, yeah. They grew like beautifully. 3 foot tall.
So they became like shrubs. I mean,
a shrub.
We have them at Bloomers. They're every bit of 3 foot tall. The 10-inch pots that we
yeah.
have, they're great big monsters. Got them.
Incredible.
Not to be planted right now, folks.
They are not. They are not hardy. Okay, they're not hardy. You've come a long way, Aaron. You have come a long way.
For sure.
Well, again, I encourage you to go to your local garden center and pick up your poinsettias. Just simply that they are taken care of the way that they need to be. You don't want to be getting a poinsettia that has been neglected, and where it ends up that you get it and it falls apart or it starts looking funny because of the way it was treated when it came off the truck, or like it was left outside, or if it was near the heater or was out, where the doors open and close. So again, make sure that you go to your local garden center, because that is who's going to have the best variety and the best help. And they'll probably foil it for nothing, and they'll probably take care of it for nothing. They'll give you a sleeve, and they'll also give you a care sheet. So that's what we do at Bloomers, and I'm sure our local brethren in the garden center industry do the same thing.